Right behind me, I've got the 2026 Audi Q7 Technik. If you guys are new here, my name is Jason and I do reviews on vehicles just like this here in Canada. Also, thank you to Audi Brampton for allowing me to review this Q7 Technik. And this one does have some options added to it, so as I walk around, you will notice all of those. So this has things like the black optics package, luxury package, a trailer hitch, 4-wheel steering, and the extended leather package. As for the different models available with the Q7, you do have these three to pick from. And here is a list of the safety features you do get standard with the Q7 Technik. As for what powers the Q7, it has the 3-liter turbocharged V6 engine, which makes 335 horsepower and 369 pound-foot of torque. Towing wise, when you're spec'd properly, you can tow about 7,700 pounds, and fuel economy is about 13 liters in the city and about 10 liters on the highway. Also, take a look at this color. You can't really tell because of the sun, but in person, this thing is stunning. This is the Waitomo blue metallic color, and this just looks stunning with all the gloss black bits and pieces. All right, let's start things off in the front here, and these things look aggressive. Look at how nice this looks, especially with everything blacked out up here. So on the bumper area here, you do have like this opening underneath and kind of like this granite little trimming here at the bottom, which also adds to the look of this. You've got two more little pockets on both the corners there, which are surrounded by gloss black, and then you get into the side here. So you do have an open air vent here, which also is covered in gloss black, which just looks very nice. And you also have obviously the front safety sensors, and then really is just the grille. Look at how massive this thing looks. Even the openings are pretty large on this, and I really like these little bits and pieces in gloss black. You've also got the front radar system here, and for the radar system, it's actually on both of the sides here. And then even the Audi logo here, you have it in gray, which I think looks better. You've got the front facing camera there, and if you look closely, you'll notice up in the corner there, you do have illuminated lights, which obviously are on both of the sides, which is pretty neat. And then you get into these very sharp looking LED front lights. I really like the LED bar at the top, and then you do have these bits and pieces here. These definitely look sharp because if I do take a step back, you can see the front end on this is very, very aggressive. And not only that, even around the whole grille, you have gloss black trimming. So I am digging the gloss black on this, especially this thing being in this color. All right, let's come around to the side of the Q7 here. You can see this is a pretty large SUV, but with all of the nice body lines that this has, it doesn't look very, very large. But this is a 3-row SUV if you are not familiar with these. And up top here, you do have the large dual pano sunroof. And then on the roof rails here, you do have these also in this granite finish. Around the windows, I really like all of the gloss black. So you have it in the center and even along the bottom here. And even on the side here, you have the Audi Q7, all that good stuff. So I really like that small little detail. As for the door handles, these do come body color. Same thing for the side mirror. The top half is body color, the bottom is just a black plastic. You got the turn signal built in and also the side mirror cameras. Now over on the fender here, you do have the S-line badging, and coming to the bottom here, you've got more of that gloss black trimming, which at the back here, it also says Quattro, so a nice little touch. And then you get into these wheels. Look at how nice these wheels are. These are your 21-inch wheels, and I just love the color on this. Like, it almost has a hint of, I think, purple in this, and this definitely stands out a lot because if I do take a step back, you can see these wheels fit perfectly. And this does have the air suspension, so that's why it's sitting very, very low, so you can definitely adjust that as well. All right, coming around to the rear of the Q7, the nice looks definitely continue. So over on the bumper area, you've obviously got a body color bumper. You've got this nice looking black plastic trimming with the designing, more of the gloss black. And then down here, you have smooth black plastic trimming. As you can see, it doesn't look all that bad. I really like how much smoother this is compared to normal black plastic. You've also got the hitchback here with the towing outlets. You've got the dual exhaust tips on both of the sides there. And if you look closely on these, even these have the black chrome around it. And then also back here, you do have your rear safety sensors. You got the reflectors. Your reverse lights are right there and right there, pretty unique spot. And the rear fog lights. And then you get into the tailgate. So you have the blacked out Q7 badge here, the Audi badge as well, and then the Quattro. And then are these unique looking LED rear tail lights. Look at how nice these look, especially the designing within the housing. I really dig how these are designed on the Q7s. And also, if you look closely, this is something very, very small, but attention to detail I love. Inside, you do have the Audi logo, which is pretty neat. And even this bar right here that stretches within the lights and across the whole back is also in gloss black. So you can see within the taillights, this is also pretty unique. Now up top here, you do have like this built-in spoiler with a brake light there. All right, let's go ahead and open up the tailgate, and the button is somewhere right here. This is a power opening lift gate, obviously. Now back here with all of the rows up, you still have a good amount of storage space that you can definitely utilize if you are going on family road trips or just in general. And down here, you do have the chrome protector. Now it is in blue because it has that little sticker thing, but this is in chrome. And I do like how the corners extend to the sides, which is on both the sides. So on this one, it's a little bit less, but here you have kind of like a deeper area. And then also here, you do have a 12-volt outlet down there. You've got a light, obviously. And on this side, you have the buttons to raise and lower the vehicle. So if you are loading stuff back here, it becomes much easier. You've also got the power seat adjustments back here, which I think is always a convenient thing. But yeah, in terms of the room, you've got a good amount of room back here. And if I lift this up here, you do have your subwoofer down here. Not a whole lot of space. All right, let's head inside the Q7 and take a look in terms of the trim and everything. So inside, you do have a black and brown interior, which definitely pops out as soon as you open up the doors. So down here, you do have some decent space. Here you've got the speaker, and this does have the Bang & Olufsen sound system. And then you have the brown soft touch with the contrast stitching, and even soft touch up here. You've got the nice wood trimming all along here. And also pretty cool up here is that you do have like this hidden little storage area that you can definitely utilize. And even the door handle is in like this satin aluminum finish. And then you can't forget about your hater blockers. All right, let's enter inside. I'm gonna touch on the third row first, so show you the legroom, the headroom, what you get back there and whatnot. And then I'll work my way towards the second row. So to get to the third row, you do have this little latch here. So if I just push this or pull it, it folds the seat down just like this. And then you have this here. So you're gonna push on this, brings up the handle, and then it just pops it up just like that. And then you have access to the third row. So you can see the brown definitely is a showstopper in this. It definitely looks good and pops out a lot, obviously. And now let me jump back here and show you the legroom and the headroom. All right, entering back here in the third row, legroom wise, it's not all that bad, to be honest. And yeah, even my feet, I can adjust them however I want in here. I do wish there was captain's chairs with this, because then I can just stretch out my legs and be even more comfortable. Now in terms of the headroom, it is a little tight because I'm wearing a hat. For reference, I'm 5'11", and it kind of touches up here. But yeah, I mean, it's not all that bad. I think for kids back here, it's perfectly fine. Also, another thing, the thigh support, it is a little lower than my liking because I do like to have it up to here. Right now, it does feel like I'm sitting on the floor, but I mean, for short trips, I can be okay back here, but I think long trips, more for kids and stuff. All right, so other things back here will be the cup holders, and you do have power seat adjustments on this side. I'll show you once I get out, and that's for the third row. So if you are entering from here and you want to quickly fold down the third row, you can do it from there. Now on the other side, you do have the same cup holders over there, and then more of the third row controls on the side. So here's what the third row seat controls look like. It's the same thing on the other side. All right, let's check out the second row here. So here's a better look at the nice brown interior. I do like the perforated back and bottom sections, whereas the third row didn't have that. And also back here, the seats do come heated on the sides, so that's also a bonus. And you can also recline these seats with this little handle right here. And also there is a little latch right there in the front, so you can move these seats forward and backwards. Now, pulling down the middle section here, it's actually pretty unique because this pops out obviously like that, and then you push this and you have your cup holders. Now I'm going to jump back here and show you the legroom and the headroom. All right, entering inside, legroom wise, I am very, very good, and I'm sure the driver's seat can be adjusted even more. So if it comes back a little bit more, I'll still have a good amount of legroom back here. And as for the headroom, it's much, much better obviously than the third row. Again, I'm wearing a hat. For reference, I'm 5'11", and I'm super comfortable in the second row. Now behind the driver and the passenger seat here, it is all plastic here, other than of course up here, which is soft touch material. And then you do have this massive netting space that you can utilize. And then over on the rear console area here, you obviously have your venting and then all of your heating and cooling and temperature controls, including the heated seats for the second row. And then if you look way down there, you do have a 12-volt outlet and USB ports. And also on the pillar here, you have more vents, and then you also have a speaker here as well. And then down here, you've got this chrome door sill piece, which also looks nice. All right, let's head to the front and see if anything is different compared to the rear. Now up here, the only thing that I can really notice is a little bit of a different area up top here. Plus you do have your tailgate button right there. And then everything else is identical, other than of course your window controls, side mirror controls, and then the driver memory seat controls. Now let's check out the front seats here. These are identical to the second row with the perforated back bottom sections. The only difference up here is you have these heated, ventilated, and you do have a nice built-in massage feature. And let me know in the comments down below, do you guys like the brown interior on this? Now over on the side of the seat, you have all your power seat adjustments, and then the middle button right here is for your massage feature. And then down here, you have a better looking door sill piece that also says S here. And then underneath, just your pedals obviously. Here is your hood latch release. Moving up here, opening this, you do have a little bit of room that you can definitely utilize for storage. And then up here, you have your exterior lighting controls, and then the all-weather lights as well. Plus you do have the gloss black, the aluminum here, the wood here, even the venting is designed nicely. As for the steering wheel, this is power adjustable. All right, so entering inside, you're dashboard is covered in soft material and then the hard material, obviously. You've got a speaker here in the corner, in the center, and on the other side there. Plus you have one up top, which is obviously on both the sides, so 2 on the pillar here. And then this has my favorite thing, which is the heads-up display. And then moving to the cluster area, this is a 12.3 inch cluster. I love how this looks. This is a fully digital cluster area, other than of course these things on both of the sides, but in the center here you have this beautiful screen that is super clear and crisp. And on here obviously you can view a ton of different information about the vehicle, and to control all of that, it is done through right here. So I can obviously scroll down and you can see I can have a bunch of different things in front of me. I can also press this little view here, so it changes the look of it, so it makes things bigger. I can have this view or this view, and then same thing, I can have things in the center as well. And also if you press these arrows up here, you can even have more information. For example, you can also have a map view in the center, which is pretty cool. And then if I press the view again, it makes it a bigger screen for the map, which is nice, and everything else becomes tiny. So you can choose whichever way that you want to see information. Now, as for the steering wheel, you do have the soft touch material, obviously, with the contrast stitching. This does come heated. You've got the Audi logo in the center with more of the chrome, more down here. And then on the left side here, you have all your cluster controls. On the other side, you have your phone controls, Bluetooth, volume, seat controls, and then you have this little star button. So if I press this, this is actually for your heated steering wheel. Now, I do wish that it had the actual symbol of the heated steering wheel, but yeah, that's what that one is for. Also behind, you will notice there are paddle shifters. And then further back here, you have adaptive cruise control, turn signals, and high beams. And then way down here, you have all the cruise control settings. And then on the other side, you have your front and rear wiper controls. Moving over to the center armrest here, you have more of the nice aluminum here with the brown soft touch material. And opening this up here, you do have some space obviously for your phone that you want to charge it. It's a wireless phone charger. You have a little bit of room right here, and then 2 more USB ports. Now over on the center console, first off on the side, you've got more of that nice wood trimming, the chrome, the contrast stitching, and then you come to the center here. So you have a ton of gloss black. You've got your handy dandy unique looking shifter here with the electronic parking brake. You've got your front cup holders obviously with the 12-volt outlet in a very unique spot. And then up here, the climate screen is 8.6 inches. So on here, you can view a ton of different things. Obviously, this is a lot for your heating and cooling, all of that good stuff. And then down here, you have your engine start stop, your cameras. And if you press this, this is actually to leave a parking spot, so you can choose which way you want to go, which is pretty cool. And then the P here, you can turn it off. But yeah, from here, if you go back in, that's actually pretty cool. I haven't seen that on any vehicle where you can just choose which way you want to go. And then if you click the last one here, you do have your driver assistance. So you have the maximum, custom, and then minimum. And then here, just your volume knobs and seat controls for your multimedia. Here you have your drive select. So if I just click down, for example, I have all of these to choose from. So up here you have off-road, all-road, comfort, auto, and dynamic. And then there's also individual that you can choose. And then here is the air suspension that I was talking about. So you can raise it and lower it from there. You've also got the traction control, hazards, and then the max and rear for your heating and cooling. And then on the screen here, so let me show you quickly. So mainly you have your heating and cooling. So here's the heated seats, vented seats, and then you can control the climate from here. You also got the auto start stop, hill descent control, and then that P again for that same thing. And then you have these squares here, which you can also check the tire pressure. You got your heated steering wheel on here as well, and then your heads up display stuff. And then if I just close this and I press these little dots here, it will bring up your air conditioning and all of that. So up here you have that stuff that pops up, and then you even have this little spray bottle looking thing, which is for your fragrance / air freshener. And you have your rear sync, also the ion button for the ionization for the cabin air. So yeah, you have that. So exiting out of this and coming back down here, you also have the screen off option, so you can turn off the top screen from there. So let's turn that one on. And before I forget, let me show you the camera. So if I just click this, it is gonna pop up here. So you have the nice top bird's eye view there. And right now it is facing the front. And I can also click this 3D one here, which is pretty cool. And I can just go around the whole vehicle, which I really like. And parking and towing with this kind of a system is very easy. And then if I just click this here, it brings up a bunch more different angles. So here you have just the front, which is kind of like this narrower front look, because if you go back to the other one, it's more of a fishbowl look. And then let's go to this one here. This is the top view. Here is the rear narrow, and then it becomes a fishbowl one. And then the front, here's what that looks like. And then here is what the rear looks like. So a lot of angles on this. And then here you have the same, the park assist, if you do want to get into a parking spot, which I really like. So see here, it shows you what kind of parking spot you want to get into. If it's just a parallel or just a normal spot, you can just click it and it goes. So, but yeah, the camera system in this is very, very nice. And I just love all of the different angles, especially the parking system in this. The way that you can get out of a parking spot and then even into a parking spot, very nice. So on your main touchscreen here, if I just go to the home page, you have a nicely laid out home page here, which I really like because it's broken into different sections, and I can swipe over to other pages. There's multiple pages on this that you have a bunch of information to go through. This is a 10.1 inch touchscreen, and you also have these things on the side. It's pretty much the same stuff that I'm going to go through on the main screen here. So let's go to the first section. You got your radio, media, online media, your phone, navigation. So here's what that looks like. Once it loads up there you are. Let's go back to the home page. You got your phone apps, vehicle. So under here, and also under the seats section, you can adjust your seat position from here or the actual controls, which I like. And swiping over, you'll find the controls for the massage settings. So you have the intensity and a bunch of them to pick from. And swiping over again, you have the seat temperature controls. Now, under the light and visibility section, if you go under the interior lighting, you can also select a variety of interior lighting options. Heading back again, you've got your store, you got Alexa built in, settings, which is typical on any vehicle. So you have all of these different things that you can customize as well to your liking. And then you have your devices, help, users, favorites, messages, and purchases. And then the last page, you have weather, news, legal notes, and themes. So if I go into themes for a second, once the themes pops up here, you can go to the catalog. And once that loads up, it brings up a bunch of different ones from different countries, cities, all that good stuff. So as you can see, you have all these different ones that you can go through. So I'm just gonna pick one and kind of show you. So I'll go to the Audi 90. And if I wanna check out the preview, I just obviously click the preview. And then once that's done, I can just press the home page and here's what that looks like. So that's pretty cool actually, that you have different themes that you can kind of customize and personalize to your liking. Up top, this is not a digital rear view mirror, but you do have your garage controls underneath, and it tells you the direction as well right there if it can focus. And then moving further up here, you have your interior lights, obviously SOS, your sunshade controls, sunroof controls. And here's what the key looks like for the Q7. It's your usual Audi key. All right, let's come around to the passenger side and let me show you on this side, because you have this nice massive area of gloss black. It also has the chrome here that also says Quattro, and then you just have your usual glove compartment space. Well, that does it for the review on this 2026 Audi Q7 Technik. Now for the pricing with the Q7 Technik, there is no window sticker, but with all of the options that this particular one has, if you build it out on Audi's website, it's about $107,800 Canadian. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this?